What happens when a live television moment spirals into something no one expected? In this video, we are going to dive deep into a dramatic, cinematic, emotionally intense recreation of a shocking on-air clash, captured in a full 3-part scripted narrative. The studio lights burn brighter than usual, reflecting off polished glass mugs and the glossy surface of the curved table. Applause rolls in waves, obedient and warm, but beneath it there's a strange electricity, the kind that hums just below the skin. Producers watch from behind the cameras, headsets pressed tight, eyes flicking between monitors. Joy Behar leans back in her chair, smiling with the ease of someone who has owned this space for years. Her fingers tap lightly against her notes, relaxed, confident. This is her arena. She knows the rhythms, the beats, the pauses where laughter lands and where tension can safely flirt without crossing a line. Across from her sits Steve Harvey. He's dressed sharp as always, dark suit, crisp shirt, mustache immaculately groomed. But his posture is different from his usual buoyant presence. He's upright, shoulders squared, hands folded together as if restraining something restless beneath the surface. His smile is there, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Whoopi Goldberg glances sideways at him, then at Joy, sensing something slightly off but not yet alarming. Sunny Hostin flips a page on her tablet. The audience settles. Joy tilts her head, amused. "So, Steve," she begins lightly, "you've built this whole brand around family values, relationships, advice. But some people say it's a little old-fashioned." A few chuckles ripple through the crowd. Steve nods slowly, still smiling. "Old-fashioned how?" Joy shrugs, casual but pointed. "You know, traditional roles, expectations, not exactly in sync with how modern relationships work." The words hang in the air longer than expected. Steve exhales through his nose. "I think respect never goes out of style." Joy laughs, waving a hand. "Oh, come on. Respect is one thing. But telling people how they should live, that's another," the audience murmurs. A camera operator zooms in instinctively. Steve's fingers tighten together. "I don't tell people how to live, I talk about consequences." Joy's smile sharpens. "That sounds like semantics." Whoopi clears her throat softly, attempting to steer the moment. "I think what Joy means is..." Steve raises a hand gently, not aggressive, but firm. "No, I got it." That's the first shift. Subtle, but real. Steve turns fully toward Joy now, his body language open, deliberate. "Let me ask you something. When you joke about marriage, about men, about commitment, do you ever think about who's listening?" Joy lifts an eyebrow. "Oh, here we go." The audience laughs again, but thinner this time. "I'm serious," Steve says, voice calm but weighted. "Young people, couples trying to make it work, people who still believe in promises." Joy leans forward. "So now comedians are responsible for everyone's feelings?" Steve nods once. "When you have a platform this big?" "Yeah, a little." The room tightens. Joy chuckles, shaking her head. "That's rich coming from someone who makes jokes for a living." Steve's smile fades, not dramatically, just enough. "I never joke about tearing people down for sport," he says. A hush sweeps over the audience. Joy's eyes narrow, just slightly. "Are you saying I do?" Steve doesn't answer immediately. He looks down at the table, then back up. "I'm saying humor has power, and power deserves care." Sunny shifts in her seat. Whoopi's expression turns serious now, alert. Joy lets out a short laugh. "Wow, so I'm careless now." Steve's voice lowers. "I think sometimes you hide behind laughter so you don't have to stand behind the message." Gasps ripple through the crowd. Joy straightens, smile gone. "That's a pretty big accusation." Steve meets her gaze, unblinking. "It's an honest one." The control room erupts in silent panic. A producer mouths, "Cut soon!" Joy folds her arms. "Let me guess. You're about to lecture me." Steve shakes his head. No. I'm about to tell you what it looks like from the outside. Whoopi interjects. All right, let's... Steve continues, respectful but unstoppable. It looks like cynicism dressed up as comedy, like tearing down belief because believing feels naive. Joy's voice rises. Oh, please. Skepticism is realism. Steve leans in slightly. No, skepticism without accountability is just bitterness. The audience is dead silent now. Joy stares at him, stunned. You don't get to psychoanalyze me on my own show. Steve nods slowly. Fair. But then don't caricature what I stand for either. A long beat. Joy opens her mouth, then closes it. Her jaw tightens. You know what, Steve? Maybe the problem is that your worldview doesn't leave room for people who don't want the same life you preach. Steve's voice doesn't rise. That's what makes it land harder. I leave room for choice. I don't leave room for mockery. The applause sign flickers uncertainly. No one claps. Joy scoffs. So now I'm a bully? Steve exhales. If the shoe fits? An audible gasp. Whoopi stands halfway from her chair. Okay. Joy turns sharply towards Steve. You came here looking for a fight. Steve finally allows emotion to crack through his composure. No. I came here expecting a conversation. You turned it into a punchline. Silence presses in from all sides. Joy's eyes flash. You don't like strong women. Steve's response is instant. I don't like dismissive ones. The audience erupts. Some applause, some boos, tangled together. Joy leans back, laughing bitterly. Unbelievable. Steve sits back too, but his gaze stays locked. This is what accountability sounds like when the laugh track stops. The director counts down frantically for commercial. Whoopi raises both hands. We're going to take a break. The screen fades as Joy and Steve stare at each other, neither willing to look away. The clash no longer playful, no longer safe, and everyone watching knows one thing. This is far from over. The cameras cut to black, but the tension doesn't disappear with the commercials. It thickens. Music plays faintly in the studio speakers, upbeat and mismatched to the mood. Crew members move faster than usual, whispering into headsets, avoiding eye contact with the table. Joy Behar stares straight ahead, lips pressed tight, fingers clenched around her mug. Steve Harvey looks down, adjusting his cufflinks with deliberate calm, though his jaw is set hard. Whoopi leans toward Joy, her voice low. You all right? Joy doesn't answer at first. Then, without looking, she mutters, I'm not the one who crossed a line. Across the table, Steve hears it anyway. He lifts his eyes. I didn't cross it. I stepped on it. Joy snaps her head toward him. You embarrassed me on live television. Steve's tone is even. You've embarrassed a lot of people with a laugh and a shrug. Nobody ever checked you on it. Sonny glances nervously toward the countdown clock. We're back in 20. Joy lets out a sharp breath. So this is a crusade now? Steve shakes his head. It's a mirror. Whoopi closes her eyes for a moment, then opens them. Both of you need to cool it. This is still a show. Steve looks at her. No, it's a platform. Joy scoffs. God, you really love that word? The floor manager raises 5 fingers. 4, 3. Joy straightens, the professional mask sliding back into place like armor. Steve rolls his shoulders once as if bracing himself. 2, 1. The red light ignites.